Do you ever feel like there's an unspoken list of Disney planning do's and don'ts you're unaware of? They're like landmines. If you cross them, are you going to upset someone? Are you going to make your vacation group mad? Or even worse, get you in trouble with Disney? Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. I know we provide you with a lot of tips and tricks on this channel, but there's rarely a flat-out wrong way to experience Disney World. I'll tell you right now that unless you do something to get yourself kicked out of the park, Disney's always happy to have you. Vacation guilt is real, guys, and it's easy to beat yourself up about it when you're worried about experiencing Disney parks the wrong way. Today we're going to talk about the things you don't need to feel guilty about during your Disney vacation. Now, the fact that you care so deeply is great, but remember, this is your vacation and there are some things you really don't need to be feeling guilty about. So let's get started. That first one is hanging around after the parks close. No, it can't be the end of the day already. If only there was some way we could stay in the Disney parks longer. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. You totally can. Okay, it's not really a secret. Select areas around the Disney parks are open for an extra hour after the parks close. That means certain shops, photo pass opportunities will remain available while guests are on their way toward the exit. Don't feel guilty about sticking around for a bit as the crowd makes its way out. You're not keeping any cast members from going home. That being said, don't expect any shows or table service restaurants to still be open after hours. Those cast members are going home. Ride queues will also be blocked off, but those who jumped in line before the park officially closed, like even up to the second before the park officially closed, won't have to leave just yet. Cast members will let the remaining guests experience the attraction before shutting the ride down for the night. As long as you were in line before that clock struck closing time, you get to ride. So which shops around the parks can you expect to remain open? In Magic Kingdom, Main Street USA will still be in full swing. So will Epcot's Mouse Gear gift shop for last-minute shoppers. Over in Hollywood Studios, Sunset Boulevard's shops will stay open as well. And you can also stop in a couple Animal Kingdom shops after the park closes, like Island Mercantile, Discovery Trading, and Flight of Passage's gift shop, Wind Traders. Still feeling guilty about staying in the parks after the posted closing time? Magic Kingdom's Kiss Goodnight might change your mind. 30 minutes after Magic Kingdom closes, Cinderella Castle will light up in this beautiful blue color and the instrumental version of Wish Upon a Star will start to play. Then a short voiceover will thank everyone for visiting, leading into one last motivational spiel about holding on to your hopes and dreams. Makes us go misty-eyed every time, but the fact that they do that 30 minutes after means that they totally expect you to stay. At least until then. After the kiss goodnight, yeah, time to head on out. Okay, going to the Disney parks without kids. Whether you're a parent who wants to experience the parks without having to ride the Barnstormer 25 times in a row, or you're an adult who doesn't have kiddos, don't let anyone guilt you into thinking you're too old for a Disney vacation, or that you can't enjoy a Disney vacation without your kids. We've been to the parks many times without kids, and it is glorious. You might want to take this opportunity to stay at one of the nicer resorts, maybe splurge a little bit, stay at the Grand Floridian. Or if you're me, stay at the Contemporary, because I don't like the Grand Floridian. You guys know that. Now, the moderate and deluxe resorts have some great amenities adults can enjoy, like golf courses, day spas, hot tubs, fine dining offerings, the list goes on and on. Or maybe you want to treat yourself to a day of shopping around Disney Springs and some of the shops kids don't care about. Or, and here's a wild thought, just go enjoy the parks, ride the rides, meet the characters, eat all the snacks, see the shows. Have fun. It's okay. Disney parks were created for kids of all ages. And while I love going with my kid, it's a completely different experience when I get to go by myself. So yeah, do not feel guilty about that. I'm telling you, don't feel guilty. All right, next up, buying souvenirs for friends and family at a Disney outlet instead of on Disney property. Listen, guys, Disney is expensive. You know that, I know that, we all know that. So when your friends and family back home want you to bring them a little extra something from your vacation, it's understandable that you're kind of hesitant to drop even more cash than you already have. Even a single pin can cost you like $15. So if you're looking for a cheaper souvenir option, let's not say cheaper, let's say less expensive souvenir option that still has that authentic Disney park charm, it's real, consider taking a detour outside the Disney bubble and visiting one of the Disney character warehouses. There are two Disney character warehouses in Orlando. The first is at the Orlando Premium Outlets off International Drive, and the second is at the Orlando Premium Outlets off Vineland Avenue. Both locations sell genuine Disney Parks merchandise at a discounted price for most of their product. I say most because every now and then we stumble across an item that's just as expensive on Disney property as it is in the character warehouse, but more often than not, you're going to find a great deal here. So don't feel guilty if you decide to shop at one of these off-site locations for your loved ones back home. They're never going to know. It's all the same stuff. Just make sure to take the discount sticker off the tag ahead of time. All right, this next one, real tough. Admitting defeat. Are you exhausted after a day or two at Disney? That's normal. It doesn't matter whether you're a pro or this is your first visit. By the end of a Disney day, you're going to be looking at well over 20,000 steps. And if you're anything like us, that is a lot more than your average daily. You shouldn't feel guilty admitting to your group that you need a breather. Is that Floridian sun getting to be too much? Suggest slipping into a show and getting some AC. Our team has watched Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress over in Magic Kingdom many times just to beat the heat. Are you hungry, thirsty? Don't wait until it's taken its toll on you. You don't want to be dehydrated in Disney World. You feel awful. So tell your group you need a snack break. Perhaps you're just in need of a good old rest. Happens to the best of us, especially if you've already spent a few back-to-back days in the parks. Just let your party know you're going back to the hotel for a cat nap. Your group doesn't have to join you. You don't have to feel bad about needing to tap out for a second. It'll be so much better for you and the rest of your group if you just take a breather and recharge and get what you need instead of pushing yourself to the limit. You'll avoid making yourself miserable and making everyone else around you miserable too. Take your breaks. You don't have to ride every single ride. You don't even have to go to every single park. This is your vacation. Relax, rejuvenate. Go hang out by the pool and have a fancy little drink. It's nothing to feel guilty about. Now, this next one's kind of funny, and it's totally realistic. Not understanding the language in Batuu, or a lot of what's going on in Batuu, honestly. If you're at Hollywood Studios over in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and a cast member says a strange word or phrase, don't feel bad if you don't immediately understand what's going on. On Batuu, the planet you wind up on once you enter Galaxy's Edge, the cast members speak a little differently in order to keep guests immersed in this galactic realm. A few common phrases you might hear are bright suns, which means good morning, datapad instead of mobile phone, off-world, referring to leaving the planet and visiting another land outside of Galaxy's Edge. We've got a printable starter's guide on our website if you're interested in learning these words and phrases ahead of time. The link below is in the description of this video. The guide also features the Aurebesh alphabet, which you'll notice written on Batuu's buildings, starships, signs, pretty much anywhere. It's easy to learn, but if you don't want to memorize the entire alphabet before your trip, which you so don't have to in order to enjoy Galaxy's Edge, you can always download the Play Disney Parks mobile app, which has a datapad that helps you translate Aurebesh on the spot. The datapad also does other cool interactive things like collect cargo and hack into wiring systems for you. Honestly, the language is a fun way to keep guests immersed on a whole new level in Galaxy's Edge, but you don't need to feel bad about not catching on right away, or, at all. Okay, now I alluded to this next one earlier in this video, but we're gonna dedicate an entire bullet point in this script to skipping out on the Magic Kingdom. Are you even a Disney fan if you don't go to the Magic Kingdom during your vacation? Well, when most people think of Disney World, they think Cinderella Castle. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've heard the Magic Kingdom simply referred to as Disney World, for those who haven't been. So should you feel guilty if someone asks you how Magic Kingdom was when you come back from your vacation and you say, I didn't go? No. Grand anniversary offerings located around the Magic Kingdom, and a whole new castle show called Disney Enchantment, and other exciting decorations, celebratory features, Tron. But if the anniversary crowds are too much for you, those celebrations are going to continue for a full 18 months, though there are bound to be some special October 1st only things going on. That being said, if you only have 2 or 3 days in the Disney parks and you have to get rid of one, Magic Kingdom's okay. It's an understandable park to set aside for a later time. If your group wants to experience culture, Epcot's your park. If they want to step into the newest Disney World section, Galaxy's Edge, Hollywood Studios is the one for you. If you've got some animal lovers in your party, then you need to plan a day at Animal Kingdom. Magic Kingdom's great. If you have small kids in your party, you probably don't want to skip out on this one. However, do you need to feel bad about not visiting Cinderella Castle again if you and the rest of your group have other things you want to set out and accomplish? Not at all. All right, next one. I'm not even joking. Crying. Yes. Don't feel guilty about this in Disney World. Main Street USA is powerful, and it might catch you completely off guard, especially since you're like, oh my gosh, I just spent 3 mortgage payments on this trip. Watching the fireworks shows after they've been gone for so long, that's emotional. And riding experiences like Animal Kingdom's Flight of Passage or Epcot's Soarin' Around the World with the swelling music and the immersiveness of flying across new lands. It's a pretty big deal. Now, unless you're one of those people who gets distracted by the tilted Eiffel Tower in that one Paris scene of Soarin', which I have to admit, kind of takes us out of the moment every time too, remember to request B1 every time. There is a reason Disney is known for being a place for momentous occasions. Proposals, weddings, gender reveals, graduation celebrations, birthdays, honeymoons. Shall I go on? It's magical. So cry. Cry because you're happy, cry because you're overwhelmed. Cry if you're frustrated. Remember how I talked about those exhausting park days and how you're liable to push yourself a little too far? If you hit that breaking point, don't feel ashamed to release that tension. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty on-site, off-site debate. If you are planning on visiting Disney World but you're not sure about paying that hefty fee to stay on property in one of the Disney-owned hotels, you do not need to feel guilty about considering your other options. This is particularly important for those of you who are planning on visiting other parks like Universal or SeaWorld or Legoland. If you're only going to visit one Disney park and be in Universal the rest of the time, you might want to stay at one of Universal's hotels instead. They're great. And much like the Disney resorts, Universal also provides their hotel guests with special offerings like boat transportation to and from the parks. Early park will come in super handy when it comes to riding on those hot new attractions like Velocicoaster and Hagrid's. And the Universal hotels have a couple affordable options too, and will often have package deals to help visitors available at every Universal hotel. So you want to check and see if yours has it if that's important to you.